So hello and welcome to Football Shootball, episode 30. Because my numbering system and my naming system based on numbers is so great, and I do not know if we did this last season as well, we have to go with Tismar Khan, right? Sapre?
Well, it's your podcast. You can name it whatever you want to. I mean, who's stopping us?
My only worry is I would have probably done this in season 1 as well. And I don't want to repeat myself, but Shivram just says Golmaal to every second podcast that he hosts or co-hosts. So I think I'm fine going with Tismar Khan, maybe Tismar Khan part 2. And because this episode is number 30, because it is Tismar Khan, we are only going for 30 minutes, which is 30 minutes flat. Okay, our producer Suroni is in our ear telling us that she's going to cut our feed in 30 minutes. So cover as much as y'all can. Ignore Leeds versus Manchester United. Absolutely nothing happened there. Yeah, ignore that. That is my one diktat for this episode.
Diktat.
Okay, so this is Tismar Khan. I have separate diktat.
दिक्कत क्या है तुमको? दिक्कत. Diktat.
All right, so I'm Karthik. I have Sapre. I have Shivram with me. We'll first get into Amit's messages and be right back on Tismar Khan. Khan. Is it Khan or is it Khan?
It's your podcast.
No?
Can
Nobody?
anything.
No, because every time he says it in the movie, he doesn't say Khan, right?
You watched the
He doesn't say
movie.
Salman Khan. I remember this was when we were in college. I'm sure you watched it with me, Shivram. This is 2010.
Really?
Like,
Was it that old?
We probably went to that Pune wala after the flyover. That theater is that single
Yeah,
screen
Rahul Theatre.
where
Sir, Rahul 70 mm.
you have to check for needles below every
Correct.
seat, and yeah, we probably saw it. We probably saw it there.
Acupuncture seats.
Vaccination.
Vaccination
unsolicited.
reminds me, guys, a lot. I know most of our listeners are in between.
Are we
the
back
age group
from the
of
break?
18 and 45. We are live. There is no break. That was for the pod listeners.
This is not for the podcast.
You feel me? This is
Where
also
are
for
we-
the pod listeners
Are
because
we
most
back?
of them.
When did we come back?
Yeah, we are back. I do a cold open and a cold return. I do not announce that, oh, welcome back to Tismar Khan. You know me for so many years. Yeah, you should know
Yeah,
my style. by
It
now.
is my misfortune.
The theater owners at interval even didn't say that. Welcome back to Tismar Khan. Nobody
Yeah.
tried that.
Hmm.
They just
Anyway,
immediately
more
cut.
importantly, speaking of vaccines, we are eligible here. And I know most of our listeners are in that age group. Some of y'all are below 18, so y'all will have to wait, especially that City fan. You'll have to wait. Just like you waited a long time for City to become good, or you supported them only when they came good. But most of y'all are over 18. I think tonight, midnight, the portal should open where you can register yourselves. Go do that. You are eligible to get vaccinated. Get vaccinated as quickly as possible and help your friends, your family, and spread the word that you must. It is dangerous times right now. It is grim times right now. So stay as safe as possibly as you can. Stay at home if it's possible. The three of us work from home. We're privileged to do so. If you are as well, we would encourage you to do so as well. And for everyone there who's helping out with whether it be oxygens, with medicines, putting out shout outs, whether it's on your social media or on ground activities as well, you guys are doing and girls are doing an absolutely tremendous job. Having said that, now, two teams did not do a tremendous job. Leeds and Manchester United. I said I will not cover them, but I need to say that, come on, man, Sapre, we expected so much from this game, but this is probably Leeds' fault, right? Like, because we expect more from Leeds than from any other club.
Yeah, but Ole did say that you will get whatever, but you'll not get a 0-0 draw. That was your cue. Right? I don't know. I mean, you can blame Leeds because, they are the better team. They're the more offensive team. They are the ones that play better football, at least offensively. So, I mean, their fault that it was a 0-0 draw.
Yeah, fair enough. And I'll give them that. And speaking of Ole, I want to say a nice hello, Ole, to look at Shivram's left if you're watching this live. There's the cutest dog in the world. Her name is Cooper. She's, I think, taking a nap. Cooper, get up. This is episode 30. Tismar
She can't hear you. She can't hear you.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. So, but then say hi to
Thank you.
Cooper. And yeah, I think that was probably the cutest part of this podcast. Let's move on to the next game. I think
Back to
the next-
Sapre.
No, we'll go to you now because a certain Arsenal decided that we're not even going to try for a Europa League spot because we're in the Europa League semis. Why should we? We're an ex-Super League side.
Even Cooper left the moment to start talking about Arsenal. She's been subjected to the game. But why are we talking about Arsenal? That was last week. Let's just focus on the weekend.
Okay. Oh, am I getting all the fixtures wrong? Because again, as
No,
usual,
you're right. You're right. I was just testing you. They happened.
okay.
They played the first game, so Friday night.
All right. So
Yeah,
it does seem like a long, long time ago. Fair
don't,
enough. So
don't
they.
don't drop the ball. Leno's already done that.
Oh my God, terrible.
Terrible.
In the last 2 games that Arsenal have played Everton, Everton have had a total of 3 shots on target, and Arsenal have lost both games by 2 own goals. That is, that is the start of the century. That is how bad they are at the moment. So I'm saying, don't watch Arsenal games. Don't take them in FPL teams. Don't worry about Arsenal. Just focus on the Europa League. You're absolutely right. They have nothing to win in the Premier League. They've lost respect also a long time ago. There is nothing called a moral victory. This team is terrible. They're just trying to get by. If by a miracle they meet United in the finals of the of the Europa League, my mistake, of the Europa League, then I think Arsenal have a shot. Otherwise, I think even with Roma, they might find it tough if they beat Villarreal to begin with.
Yeah, but
Okay.
be happy, right? One of your legends has been part of the Premier League Hall of Fame. So at least Arsenal guys are kept quiet for at least this week, even after disastrous results.
There's a Premier League Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah, now Alan Shearer and Thierry Henry were inducted into it.
Oh, okay. So congratulations to them. I'm sure they
I
deserve
think this
it.
is Sapre is paying homage to Alan Shearer with his discount Juventus jersey. Black and white चाहिए था तो black and white तो है.
He's very proud of that jersey, and he has a Del Piero autograph on the back, which he refuses to show, by the way.
You'll have to take it off. Take it off, Sapre. Suddenly our viewers will go through the roof. Come on, let's give this some real Shootball.
That will cost you more money. No, but I have.
There's a rate card.
Yes, there is. No, he's actually signed. I have a photo also. I'll post that picture after the episode of him signing.
Where?
On what handles am I on? I'm on Twitter. I am still on Twitter, and I'm on Instagram. I'll put that up. He's actually
you know what the problem, right, is, Shivram, because it takes so long for Sapre to get his audio right. Our sound designer Vishnu will literally kill him if he removes those earphones once again by trying to take off his jersey. so let's not go there. You don't want to earn Vishnu's ire. Is that the right way?
Well done. That is a well-formed, mythologically referenced line.
Okay, so I have a question for Sapre. Sapre, now we're not talking about Arsenal, yeah? Everton, though. Everton are 8th. They do have a game in hand to all the other clubs above them. They are 6 points of 4th place. What is their ceiling this season?
They have a good chance, but they're difficult teams. Are not going to drop so many points. Would have been good that they won this match against Arsenal. That was probably the easiest fixture they had, with having to do nothing absolutely all game and coming away with 3 points. But Europa League, definitely, I'd hope they'd win, because the top 4, like I said, for me is sealed with City, United, Chelsea, and I'm sure Liverpool will.
So you don't see any chance that Everton can make a fight of it?
No.
Okay. So the ceiling for Everton remains a Europa League spot. If they can finish in that, maybe the top 7, they've done a good job. Ancelotti has done a good job.
Well, they've done a good job so far. It's not bad where they are, considering the teams above them. They lacked a bit of consistency, and I think they started very well. I think the first few games with Dominic Calvert-Lewin and James Rodriguez and Richarlison, that front three looked equally lethal as the front three of Aston Villa, who was scoring a lot of goals initially. I think then the injuries hit after Derby, and that's where the spiral happened. But they're good for what they've done. I think a little more investment, and they'll definitely cement a place for Europa League next season. That is definite for them.
Speaking of teams in the Champions League, and Sapre mentioned them, Shivram, Chelsea beat West Ham and jumped above their opponents into 4th place. Now, this Chelsea side, they don't lose, right? Unless it's against West Brom.
Yeah, I think we correctly identified on this podcast, this is the football impact moment, where we said that loss to West Brom was just a blip. They've come back stronger, and they've continued to get every point that they could manage since then, and they're now comfortably placed in 4th. West Ham are 3 points behind them, but West Ham have a tougher list of fixtures. They play Burnley, who are no pushovers. We know that well, right, Sapre? They play Everton, who Arsenal are no pushovers. Then there's Brighton, who have the most shots on target, but somehow don't score, but have in the past...
XG champions, Brighton.
Yeah, XG, number 1. XG, for what it's worth, for a long time, for Sapre stood for expected girlfriend. It continues to be 0. There is a West Brom in the middle. I think by the time on the 15th of May, they would be long gone. They would have already packed their bags in Southampton. I don't know. It could be a 9-0, or Hasenhüttl would cry. It could be one of those. So I'm saying West Ham still have a shot, but it's very highly unlikely that Chelsea will lose points because now it's out of West Ham's hand. Leicester also are not going anywhere, right? So for all intents and purposes, for whatever mathematical discussion we want to have, West Ham, I think, have successfully managed to lose their spot in the Champions League. I mean, that would be a different Champions League if West Ham would make it to the tournament, but I'm guessing it won't be this year.
All right. So the one team that Shivram left out, and on purpose, because we need to spend a few minutes on them, is the defending champions. They have lost their title, but at least until City get their hands on the Premier League trophy, Liverpool still are the 1920 champions of England.
With an asterisk.
With an asterisk that there was a break, but I would give them that because they were so good before the break itself, right? They were like 20 points ahead, yeah.
But they were still a
bit harsh there.
Still a break.
Yeah, but they're 20 points. Like you and I could go play for Liverpool and we would still keep that 20
No,
points.
we'll manage to help City come back. I can assure you. If you and I go play, for sure.
Okay, so Sapre, let's talk about Liverpool then. You're pretty certain that they're not finishing in the Champions League spots?
I'm pretty sure that they are finishing in the Champions League spots. With
so
Chelsea.
Then Leicester's going out, but Leicester have this Spanish striker who's supposed to be English as well, Ian Nacho, who keeps scoring goals.
He's not Ian Nacho, first of all. He's Nigerian.
Yeah.
Okay.
He used to play for City before he joined Leicester, by the way.
Right. Ian Nacho.
And somehow I like his first name better than his second name. Like Kalechi just sounds like
Kalechi.
Right? No, for Leicester is not. So the last three fixtures for Leicester, I think they play Chelsea and they play Spurs, which is a tricky game now that they have a new manager, which is a better manager than the previous manager.
Anyone's a better manager by that reputation.
And they play United.
What is Karthik doing? He's turning his back. He's running away from this argument.
I protest such statements. Yeah.
Liverpool have a much easier fixture apart from the United game, which is next. They play Southampton, West Brom, Burnley, and Palace at home in the last game. So much easier for them. I see them clearly finishing in the Champions League.
Plus, they just drew against Newcastle.
Yeah, but I mean,
the team you are currently representing,
Newcastle's
Castle Rock. If you watch that game, first of all, it was an incredibly bad game.
It was.
At some point in time, Liverpool felt like they were that cat who was toying with their food. They were 1-0 up. They could have scored 3, but they said, no, not right now. Let's try and see if we can keep you on the boil for a little more. And then eventually they paid for it. They even had, VAR tried really hard to give them all 3 points, but they made sure that an Arsenal only scored against them and they draw points. So if they are dropping points against Newcastle, which they should have dispatched and would have dispatched comfortably.
So no Liverpool in the Champions League for you.
They're further away from West Ham. I mean, Chelsea and Leicester will have to catastrophically drop points, and not just drop points, they'll have to take negatives. You'll have to give them -3 for losing for them to have an opportunity to catch up.
Chelsea were an ESL side and they could get, so could Liverpool. So, okay, that negates any...
Yes, it works both ways.
Everton to the Champions League after everyone gets negative points. All that top 6.
No, it's just going to be the top 4 right now. Will continue. You want romantic endings to this? There is no Balotelli passing to Aguero. I'm sorry to. This is the state of the EPL. It's done and dusted. It's going to continue as it is. You might wish for something to happen, but this is not a Leicester season. This is just 1, 2, 3, 4 and done.
Pandemic has made you a pessimist, Shiva.
See, being a pessimist, the worst case scenario is that you're wrong, right? So I win either way.
Yeah, another romantic story that didn't happen over the weekend was Jose Mourinho not posthumously winning a League Cup title.
What do you mean posthumously? He's still alive, man.
I mean, yeah. But his manager career is over. You guys
ex-manager.
So ex-manager Jose
Previous
Mourinho not winning a League Cup title. You guys saw the match. I couldn't watch it because it wasn't available anywhere for me to watch.
Voot.
So Shivram, you saw the game and I don't have Voot. Yeah.
Don't have Voot means Voot.com, just enter.
Yeah, I mean, don't you watch Big Boss? What's wrong with
Fair enough. That's a great question, Sapre. That tells us about a lot about the both of us.
You're a proud Indian. I mean, who doesn't watch Big Boss?
But how was it? City deserve it?
City were okay. Again, they were toying with Spurs, but Spurs looked okay at the back. Like it was more of the I think some things you can't forget so quickly. So they were trying to park the bus at points in time, and City was City, wave after wave after wave of attack, and eventually one went through, and that is all they needed. And then immediately Spurs just gave up. So then there was no coming back, even though it was closer to the end of 90 minutes. Spurs didn't look spectacular. Right? They had a couple of chances which could have gone either way, but then so did City. So it wasn't a great game. It was okay at best, better than Arsenal, Everton, or Leeds United for that matter. And I really enjoyed the fact that Harry Kane had to pick up that sanitizer at the end of as a runners-up trophy.
So, but the best part for me was when I think Shivram, you shared that screenshot of the Wood screen, probably now that I know that it was on Wood, where it showed the two managers, Ryan Mason and Pep Guardiola. One has 700 games, 600 wins, 50 odd titles. The other one has 2 games, 1 win, and titles,
including one.
they did the poor guy dirty, man. There, like that was so unfair.
It was the best. It's an Arsenal supporter somewhere in the production team. It was like, let's put this. This is fun. And the best part was they said total games managed. And for Ryan Mason, it said 2 in bracket, including this one. That is the kicker for me. That was the best thing I could hope for in that game.
Yeah, but I think Jose Mourinho had the last laugh. It was Serge Aurier's mistake that led to the free kick. And he had
That is just hindsight.
Yeah, but I'm sure it's Mourinho.
That's all Mourinho has at this moment in time for the rest of his.
I'm slightly disappointed, and I feel sad for Mourinho that he was not given the Bayern Munich job. I mean, that would have been great, right? That league would have been just.
Is it confirmed, Nagelsmann?
It's confirmed.
Oh wow! Okay.
Nice. Bundesliga Bayern keep taking bits and pieces from the Bundesliga to make their own ship of thesis, and then they don't want to be in the Super League because guess what the Bundesliga is? It is already a Super League. It is just Bayern Munich.
One super club, and they're inviting the 17 others come.
It's an invitational.
I'm sure
if you do well, you're coming to us. So be very careful. That's the Bayern.
But Hummels, except Hummels can go back and forth.
Yeah, league is so incestuous. He'll go back to Bayern. God save us come back.
No one wants Royce.
So, but I think that was the Premier League done and dusted for this week. I think the top 4 race is pretty exciting. The relegation is pretty much done. How did you guys do, Shivram? I'll leave this with you. How do you guys do with Fantasy Premier League? I don't think it was a fair game week because I didn't realize until just before we started.
It wasn't a fair game week.
If Fulham did not play, what kind of game week is this? It is.
It's called a good game week.
I think it's been compromised this game week. So,
sorry, just 1 second. I have to interrupt this. Rohit Sharma, the one and only, has said, "Aaj Chelsea jeetega." And considering he plays for Mumbai Indians and it's also like Chelsea also is blue, I can see an obvious connection. And maybe Rohit is also friends with Abhishek Bachchan.
Focus on the cricket, na tum log haar rahe ho yaar.
Delhi is going to win, also blue. So Delhi is going to win. But our Chelsea jeetega is, I think, something. Okay, let's take a step back before we go into the FPL. 2 bigger things are happening this week. I think 2 of the biggest things that are happening this week are Chelsea are playing Real Madrid and City play PSG. What are we doing? Are we doing predictions? What's the deal?
Yeah, because Chelsea play Real Madrid tonight. So if you're a podcast listener, boo-hoo, you'll know whether we're right or wrong. Guys like Nivas Kumar, Rohit Sharma, of course, Hitman, considering you're watching live, let's give him predictions.
Borivali Bomber.
But then Rohit is saying that Chelsea jeetega. I'm not so sure. Yeah, I don't know if any of us are pretty sure about that because
I'm saying Madrid jeetega.
I'm sure Chelsea jeetega.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Chalo, let's see your predictions. I will not come back with a chal. Tell us your predictions so I can laugh at you later.
I know no score predictions are sort, and but Chelsea are going to win this. Be it this first leg, be it over the 2 legs, they're going to win. They're going to go in the finals.
Okay, he's on the Tuchel train. There is Sapre. Shivram, you're clearly Madrid.
Yeah, Madrista. I mean, it's so obvious. For once, one team I like is winning. So let that continue.
Fair enough. And Benzema is playing some superb
Zidane
football.
will play Hazard and he'll realize his mistake. And by the time it will be too late to substitute and get somebody to change the game.
But you know how players perform against their previous clubs.
Yeah, Sanchez did great against Arsenal when he came to United. So thank you.
I mean, that is your fault, not our fault. Sorry, Karthik, what were you saying?
Okay, Kaustubh's not having any of what Mr. Rohit Sharma is saying. Kaustubh Pardeshi is saying Chelsea only play negative football. He's very upset at Chelsea. Kaustubh, I think you should watch Real Madrid play sometimes as well. They're not the best either.
Chelsea playing negative football.
So they will cancel each other. Negative.
Yeah.
So they can't be blamed on Tuchel. They had Mourinho as a manager twice, played negative football. They had Conte played very similar kind of football.
That is true.
And now there's Tuchel. So it's just Chelsea, right? And they're getting results. So
basically, you didn't name Frank Lampard there because you had no idea what that was.
he tried to change
I don't think anyone remembers that he was in the middle.
No, he tried to change that, but look what happened, right? So they're back to their best. They'll play with three.
He's your David Moyes.
He was. I mean, Lampard is still a legend at Chelsea, and he did well for England. Moyes was. For what he did at Everton, of course, he should be in the
Of course
as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there is one Chelsea and two Madrid on this podcast. What about the other?
Wait,
game?
you're saying Madrid? When did you say that?
Yeah, you can't bet against Madrid in a Champions League semi-final unless
I
it's
agree.
against a Lionel Messi-led Barcelona. Just can't.
Karthik, how can you support Madrid and Fulham at the same time? How?
I
It's
saw Madrid's game over the weekend and Hazard came on. Madrid did drop points, but I watched Hazard and he didn't misplace a single pass for 15 minutes. So I think there is something there, and he seemed to be moving pretty well. So I'm going for a romantic story for Eden Hazard on his return to playing Chelsea Football Club.
Lovely. The second game, City PSG. Quickly, guys, let's hear your predictions.
PSG for me.
It's a little tough. I think City might just eke through a win.
Guardiola has never made it past the quarters anyway, so he doesn't know what this is like with City. So you never know what will happen, right?
What can happen? Yeah, Sapre, break the draw between us. Who do you think will win?
City, of course. City Chelsea final.
City,
of course.
Okay.
All right. So for the basis what Sapre is saying, I think he's going for an all-English Champions League final. And quickly, he's also going for an all-English Europa League final. No?
I never.
Europa League final.
No.
I thought you support United. You don't like United anymore.
I don't see Arsenal getting past Villarreal. No chance.
Wow. Villarreal.
This is because your glasses are outdated.
Hey, they're proud.
Arsenal are spending all their resources on Europa Leagues. So, that's the least we can do.
They'll still come short. So,
yeah, could be. And Spanish clubs do well. One Spanish club, Sevilla, does do well in the Europa League, and Atletico.
So that Spanish clubs do well.
no, and Atletico as well. And so I'm guessing there is this.
Yeah, and didn't Arsenal get Unai Emery to Arsenal because he's won a particular competition before?
The Europa League.
Don't get into details, yeah. Chalo, let's talk about fantasy, which is, I think, way better than this. You can join the Fantasy Football League. Go to fantasy.premierleague.com. Type in H3OMYA. That's H3OMYA. You can come join us. We'll tell you where we are in the league. It has hundreds of millions of players right now. But let's go to the top 5. It's I think, money time. Number 1 continues to be Kloppites, Tanmay Gaude, 49 points this week, 2218. So very, very good. Number 2 is Anurag Mandle, our last year's winner, with Kaiwi Z, 59 points, 2177. So he's actually around 40-50 points behind the leader. So there's a lot of gap to be made up. I think Tanmay's going to win it. The Damned United, Athav Kaushal, number 3, 2168. So right behind Anurag. Number 4, we have a new entrant, Guwahati City FC, Bharat Fukan, 91 points. What? 91 points. 2164. Number 5 is FCAK, which is 58 points and a total of 2136. Who did 91 points have? Oh, wow. Chris Wood, Pereira, Salah, Castagne, Rudiger, and so brave in having Johnston in goal. Well done. Thoroughly deserved. Guwahati City FC, which is Bharat Fukan. Really well done. Sapre, tell us where you are in this league, man.
Before Sapre tells us, Chris Wood reminds me, what happened to Chris Wood this weekend? You two were going mad, and I'm sorry, I didn't watch Burnley because I don't watch Burnley, but he scored a hat-trick, he got an assist, he became prime Ruud van Nistelrooy for a day.
Yeah, suddenly I had him for the previous 2 weeks, and I was pretty sure because he's technically the target man. There is Matej Bidra, who also plays supporting striker, but then Wood ends up getting some points, and he did the last 2 weeks. But I was too, how do you say that, greedy, and I said Vardy will score 5 goals, which he didn't. On the other hand, Wood continued his form, and then he ended up with 3. So I mean, that is fantasy, right? I mean, it hits you when you expect it the least.
It was the most unpredictable result. People had doubled up in defense with Wolves, given the previous, and most probably they thought it's going to be a 0-0. Both teams have nothing really to play for, and then this is what happens.
Yeah.
You get 91 points, and then people.
It's a tough world, man, of fantasy. I mean, I don't think enough people say it. I think it's tough out there.
But in the first half of the season, Gaurav Sapre was our FPL representative, flying the Shootball flag high. What has happened over this last part?
I don't know about flying anymore. He's still there with the flag.
I'm lying.
Sapre, where are you, man? Did you delete your team?
No, you have to scroll now.
What? You've dropped to 24th? Oh my God.
2 of my differentials, they were so different that the managers thought they're not going to do enough. Maddison stood up and Cavani didn't start. And booyah to Ole for not starting him. I mean, that's the result you get when you don't start.
Booyah, are you booing or booyah?
No, like,
Booyah, mama.
Booyah, like booyah, like Ole, booyah. You don't start Cavani.
You're angry about that.
I'm angry, I'm pissed off.
Booyah is more of a sound of booyah. Like, I got you.
That's in Bangalore. I mean, either some other.
Okay, fine.
Language changes every 5 kilometers, whatever, to becomes frozen. Not like.
Yeah, I think he had enough of the booyahs and the Bangalows of this podcast.
So I fell on to 24th position now. I don't know how I'm gonna get back. It's difficult.
Yeah, it looks tough. Maybe how many more weeks are there? 4, 5 more game weeks. That's still some fair amount of time.
Yeah, but look at the others; they're doing so much better.
Yeah. That while that is there, I'm just going to quickly run through next match week's fixtures, okay? And any maybe that stand out for you and I. And we have Southampton, Leicester. We have Crystal Palace, City, Chelsea, Fulham, woohoo, West London Derby, Brighton, Leeds, Everton, Aston Villa, Newcastle, Arsenal. And the biggest game of the weekend, Sapre, Manchester United versus Liverpool. Are we going to hype this game up once again as we have for the last 10, 15, 20, 30 years? And once again, it's going to disappoint us.
It has been disappointing for the past 2-3 seasons. Really disappointing. Those 0-0s. Not sure what to do. Yeah, I don't know who's that one differential. Plus, United are going to come off the first leg. So they might protect the players for the second leg. So they'll play extremely cautious.
But I'll tell you what, one thing United can do, and it's Kaustubh again who's messaged us. He's had it in for Chelsea. Now he has it in for Liverpool as well. He's like, do you guys think Liverpool will play the Europa Conference League, which is the third tier of European competition? So United could do Kaustubh a favor here and win.
Yeah, I mean, they'll do a lot of teams a favor. But like I said, for United, there's nothing. They have almost cemented their place in the Champions League. I think that second spot is almost theirs now. One, maybe 4-5 more points from the games left, and I'm sure they're second. Liverpool, like I said, still have a lot on their hands they can do. I think they'll play their best football. And I mean, when I say best football, it would be like a 1-2 goals. That's about it. But I see Liverpool winning that one somehow.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So Liverpool to win on Sapre. I think I'm just going for 0-0 because that's how it has been over the past few seasons.
Most of us are going to go for 0-0. But given what's at stake, I think Liverpool are a little more arrogant in the way they play. So yeah,
and they do have a lot more to play for, at least in the Premier League. All right, Sapre, is there anything else about fantasy, or shall we take a quick break and come back with a quick roundup of the better leagues happening across Europe?
I don't agree to the second point, but yeah, let's come back and talk about the other miscellaneous leagues in Europe.
All right, but considering you're alive, we're back from the break.
Apart from Serie A.
Because you're wearing the Juventus jersey, of course. Now, Sivaram told me that I need to say that we're back from a break. So we're back from a break. Although if you're watching us live, you'll find this extremely stupid, but please bear with us. Podcast listeners, we are back after messages from our sponsors that you heard. The closest title race is happening in 2 leagues. Yeah, Sapre, La Liga and Liga, which is the French league. La Liga, Atletico Madrid 73, Real Madrid 71, Barcelona 71, Sevilla 70. And Barcelona, if they win on Thursday,
Yeah.
can go top. Imagine that. Like City, you remember at the start of the season, about 6-8 weeks in, they were 14th.
They were. But they had games in hand and they did well. I think this is Atletico just screwed up like massively over the past month or two. But they still have to play each other. So Atletico still have that chance. But knowing Atletico, they'll just fucking go and draw that game, which is not going to help their chances.
Yeah.
But fascinating. Nobody thought, Madrid still, I mean, it was between the two Madrid clubs, Barcelona with whatever that was happening and the Champions League exit, etc.
Barcelona at one stage were like, let's get back into the Champions League positions and then we'll figure the rest out, right?
Yeah, but just fascinating to watch, not at least with those three teams.
It is. So May 8th is, as Sapre mentioned, May 8th is when Atletico play Barcelona. A day or two later on that same game week is also where Sevilla, surprise, they're on 70 points. I do not know where they come up from. So credit to Sevilla, credit to Julian Lopetegui, who is ex-Real Madrid manager, ex-Spain manager, of course, who's taken them up to 70. And who knows if Sevilla beat Madrid and like if Atletico and Barca draw, suddenly we may see Sevilla going into the last day of the season with the possibility to become champions. Yeah,
brilliant. That would be fantastic to watch.
That would be. Okay, the other league, and this will quickly cover because unfortunately in India, we do not get to watch it, is the French league, Liga. And there's one team, guys, go and try and check out. It's all the clips are there on YouTube. You can watch each match highlights at least on YouTube. Is Lille. Lille have been topping the table and they're not letting that lead go. They played Lyon, who are fourth this weekend. They were 2-0 down. They came back. They won 3-2. Burak Yilmaz, remember him? The 35-year-old. He came and he scored a brace. PSG, we could be seeing them lose a title for the first time. Lille seem unstoppable. So there's that. And now Sapre's favorite league, because Sapre is representing Juventus and Serie A this time. Unfortunately for Sapre, Juventus dropped down to fifth for a while. Before they did drop down to fifth. Before last night, Milan decided to lose 3-0 to Lazio and go below Juventus on goal difference. So Milan, who were topping the table, Sapre, for the first half of the season, they've been the best side in 2020, one of the best sides in Europe at least, are now out of the Champions League spots after giving Zlatan Ibrahimovic a multi-million-dollar contract for the next season.
And he used some of that money to the alleged betting scandal that he's being involved or investigated for. So God knows what happened to them. I mean, just how can you bottle? Forget Atletico may not win the La Liga, but they're not going to drop out of the Champions League places. I mean, Milan now with what's happening, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm not wearing this as, I mean, it's a Juventus jersey, but it's more. I told you this. So it's a Del Piero jersey from 2012 where Conte was managing the club, and now with Inter probably winning the Scudetto with what? One point or one win, I guess, in the remaining matches. I'm sure they'll do that.
They can. I mean, it's Inter Milan, where I've been following them through the season. But if I remember correctly, in the last 4 or 5 games, a couple of them, Matteo Darmian is coming in, scoring a 70th minute winner for them multiple times. Like I think if you're a Manchester United player, if you're let go of a club by the club, you know that you have a career in Italy ahead of you with Conte's Inter Milan. I think that's one thing that can be said. But these 3 leagues are extremely exciting. Italy more, the Champions League spots. Is there anything else, Sapre? Or we have gone overtime over the 30 minutes on Tis Marcana anyway. Or the last word from you. Which league are you most excited to see? La Liga or the Champions League maybe?
Oh, the La Liga is more fascinating than the Champions League. More matches to play. There are, like I said, top 4 sides still play each other. There's a lot there that could still happen. Champions League, I'm happy there are 4 good teams this time. All 4 of them can potentially at least win the finals. So good football, to look forward to starting tonight.
Before we go, but because we got a late message in from our regular listener, and I'm not going to say his full name because I got tricked the first time, Mr. Lar. He has messaged with the word Nagelsmann. Yeah, and because like you mentioned that it's breaking news that Nagelsmann is going to Bayern, and I think we brushed it over with a joke or two, but seems like an exciting signing. And if I remember correctly, Spurs wanted him at some point, right? If they ever sacked Mourinho.
They did. I mean, the fact that what he's achieved with Leipzig, I think every time a club lost their manager, he was always in the reckoning. I mean, United and Arsenal and whoever. And I'm sure they'll be lucky to have him. He's a good tactician. But I thought Klopp would go and take the Munich job. But then the Germany job is also up for grabs. So,
But that should go to Flick now, I feel. Because Klopp seems, I think, determined to right the wrong of this season. I don't think, unless they fire him, and these owners we've seen over the last 2 weeks do what the hell they feel like.
Correct.
But unless they fire him, I think Klopp wants to make sure that he doesn't leave on this sour note, because a similar thing happened to him at Dortmund. They were near the relegation zone almost
Yeah.
when he was kicked out. So yeah, it'll be exciting. It'll be fun to see what Nagelsmann's up to. But that's for next season. For now, for Theesmar Khan. And if you didn't hear Shivram for the last 5 minutes, is because he had some technical issues. So you were left with just Sapre and I. We hope we entertained you enough. We'll see you next week, episode 30. This was Theesmar Khan.
ciao.